It's a game of inches, isn't it? The Tampa Bay Lightning force Game 7 with the Toronto Maple Leafs coming back down 3-2 with 3 key areas of the game, costing the Leafs the game and giving the Bolts the big W. Tough one for Leafs Nation. We all figured this was going to go to 7. Bolts fans are going, we ain't dead yet. That's why we're the champs, baby. I assume that's how Bolts fans talk. Anyways, let's talk about it. First thing to point out here, Leafs Nation, is the Toronto Maple Leafs played an excellent game. We talked last game in Game 5. We said, have they graduated into a playoff team? And again, we saw it tonight. Campbell, absolutely on fire, played a fantastic game. The grit and determination of the Toronto Maple Leafs, especially in that second period. Jason Spezza does Jason Spezza things, and you got to be feeling it. Leafs fans love this guy. They should. They feel he's a heart and soul guy. He is. He ends up getting an assist, which was almost a goal, with John Tavares, who is a very divisive person in Leafs Nation. He isn't anymore because he's on top. And then with 19 seconds left in the second, the only thing I'm thinking in our Discord chat that you should join below if you want to go ahead and talk to Coach Ryan D and a whole bunch of other hockey fans, including Leafs fans, is I was saying with 19 seconds left, JT needs to win this draw in the Leafs zone. He wins the draw in the Leafs zone. They get out of this period 2-2 and all things are good. Not only does he win the draw twice because linesmen suck at dropping the puck, the second time he wins the draw within 19 seconds, he goes down and scores to make it 3-2. And the Toronto Maple Leafs fans and Leafs Nation are going, we're a team of destiny. And then a chin strap, a 5-on-3, and a goal that doesn't go in by Mitch Marner. The 3 key areas end up giving the Bolts the big W. First off, let's talk about the chin strap. 1, I have no idea if you can challenge the fact that a chin strap was undone. The chin strap was clearly undone. There's 4 officials on the ice. Everybody misses it. They miss it all the time. You come to this channel, we don't spend a lot of time complaining about referees because there's no point. They're terrible for everybody. The referees, they're terrible. They're terrible in every sport. Every sport has them. Every sport loathes them. And it's a really gutsy call if you can challenge it. You guys got to let me know down below. Can you challenge that? I want someone to research that. I'm not going to take the time to look into the nuance of that, but you let me know down below if you can challenge a chinny being undone, because if you're Sheldon Keefe, what are you supposed to do with this? You have a 5-on-3 that turns into a 5-on-4, and if you challenge it and lose, you're back to a 5-on-3? I probably wouldn't have challenged that either. The reality of it is, though, David Camp and Alex Kerfoot got to control their stick. There's always fans that talk about, oh, the stick instantly kicked up. What's it supposed to do? Yada, yada, yada. It's like a car accident. If you rear end somebody, you have to control the front of the car. In a hockey game, you have to control your stick. It's the only damn thing that the referees get consistently. Your stick touches a foot, they go down, it's a trip. Automatic. Your stick catches a helmet, unless you're Sidney Crosby, hand goes up, it's automatic. It doesn't matter if they hit the face, if they hit the helmet, whatever it is. The stick goes high. Doesn't matter if it's incidental. I hear all this, oh, it's not purposeful, it's not this. There's no such thing as an incidental or non-incidental penalty. They're just penalties. So keep that argument to yourselves. The stick went up from Kerfoot. The stick went up from Camp. Absolutely horrible time for it to happen. These are not bad luck plays. You may be working hard, but you got to control your stick. Just like when you're driving on the road, you got to control the front of your car. So it doesn't matter if you think it's their fault. It's a penalty. They're in the box. Terrible time to take a 5-on-3. That is what ends up flipping the game. Now, the big one. You've heard me talk about this on this channel over and 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 over again. 100% of the time, when you don't score and the shot goes wide, or it's a fantastic scoring chance, it's a post, and it is not a whistle and a save. The puck is live. So post, high and wide, missed one-timer, some version. Maybe you fan on the puck. It always transitions the other way. That transition the other way causes an odd man rush, and either they score on that odd man rush or they keep it in the zone and they score right there. It happens 100% of the time, not just to the Leafs, to every team in hockey. That's science. Look it up. Change my mind. It's bananas how this occurs in hockey. How the transition game in the game of inches occurs in hockey. Football's the game of inches because you're trying for first down. Hockey's the game of inches because if Marner is a couple inches the other way, that puck ends up going in, just like Gordon Bombay. And because that puck turns over the other way, the Tampa Bay Lightning take advantage. There is no fault from Jack Campbell here. He has had 2 solid games back-to-back. The Leafs had a million opportunities to put this one away. The Leafs also had fantastic resolve in this one. We're going to get a Game 7. Leafs Nation, tell me down below, did you expect anything else but the hardest path through? You're going to be thrilled when Toronto ends up taking Game 7, because I'm telling you right now, and I think they're very, very exciting teams. But John Cooper says the Leafs aren't beating us, we're beating us. You know what? I did say if Tampa Bay loses because they choose to, but after watching this series, I have to say when the Leafs decide to play the Leafs game, the Bolts can't touch them. That's just the way it goes. The Bolts have a better goalie, but Jack Campbell's outplaying him right now. Will that hold for one more game? Only time will tell. But when the Leafs are in control of the puck, I see a team, unbiasedly, Jets fan behind me, not part of Leafs Nation, here to cover hockey, love Leafs Nation, love Bolts fans. I think the Leafs are the better team. That's it. I think they're the better team. Will they get through this one? I don't know. It's a 50-50 coin toss because you're still playing a very good team. But Leafs Nation, if you end up winning this one, it's going to feel oh so good that you got out of there in 7. So, heart is broken. Stay strong. Go forward as a fan. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you're a fan, but I know you're emotionally invested. We all get emotionally invested, more so than the team. But I think the Leafs are going to come out ready to go, fired up, and it's at home. That's a huge deal, so make some noise when they get there. The second thing that I think ends up costing Toronto in this game is they had a superb second period. Superb. The first period, not enough shots. 6 shots is not enough shots. There's no reason to get 6 shots when you're a team this talented. The third period, 4 shots. We talked about it in a couple other videos. Leafs Nation knows this very well. You can't go in to prevent defenses. You can't shut down and hope to maintain the lead. Now, I understand you only get 4 shots because a lot of that you're playing 5-on-3, but you're the Leafs. All gas, all day, baby. That is what they have to do. Don't play worried about playing defensive hockey. The best defense for the Leafs is puck possession, which means a good offense. But we didn't see that from the Leafs in the third. They end up getting through it, though, which is important. They have what I consider a very good overtime. I believe they outplayed the Bolts in the overtime. But Leafs and Bolts fans, the support and love you have shown us on this channel has been exponential. My goodness, grown like gangbusters. Couldn't have done it without all of you. All the thumbs up, all the subscribes, all the Discord joins. I am feeling the love for this community. As I've said a few times, I am exhausted. I'm tired. There's a whole bunch of things going on in life right now, but we're here to cover the game, so we appreciate your support on that. And if you've been really liking the content, you've been really digging Coach Ryan D, consider giving us a super thanks down below. It's a lovely little tip, goes a long way. We really appreciate anything that comes in this way. We spend a lot of time covering this game. And if you really like Coach Ryan D, think about joining my coach's staff by hitting the join button down below. It's a monthly recurring membership where you get priority access to talk to me. There's a whole bunch of cool perks in there that you can end up joining. You can read more about it down below. Don't forget, we're also sponsored by BetUS. Head over to betus.com. There's a billion apps going on. You see it. Dangle's even got one. But if you want the 125% deposit bonus, think of switching over. You can run multiples at a time, and then you can go ahead and smash with free play money, because I'm going to give you 125% a bet on the Leafs or the Bolts in Game 7. And there is nothing sweeter. Let me tell you the best gambling strategy in the world when you're recreational and you're not professional. Bet on your home team. Makes the win twice as good as long as you're over the age of majority and it's legal in your state or province. Open to Canadian or American residents. But enough of that. Let's get after goals. There's the angle there of the chin strap being undone. Referees. We all hate referees in the NHL, especially when we think it ends up biting us in the butt. So we'll start off with that one. Bolts and Leafs fans, it's totally irrelevant because he ends up scoring. And remember, back in the day, and it really wasn't that long ago, it was like a Tuesday, it feels like, it was totally allowed to play without a helmet. So it's not the rule anymore. It's a technicality, but yeah, theoretically you used to be able to do this. That wasn't very long ago. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Might even be newer than that. Again, somebody correct me down below. The Leafs, as the faster team, should have the advantage in the 4-on-4. Kerfoot had a pretty tough game today here. Like, Leafs Nation, if you want to beat up Kerfoot a little bit, and you won't because he's been excellent for you in the playoffs. He's really well loved. But this drop pass that he ends up making is just an absolutely boneheaded play. I get it happens to everybody, but when you are in an elimination game like this and you're a professional, you gotta think this through. I get it's just a mistake. We all make mistakes. I've made them. But what a costly mistake that ends up turning it over for Andrei Palat here. 4-on-4, the Leafs are better all day than the Bolts just due to the speed. So between the high stick and the drop pass, that's 2 goals indirectly caused by Alexander Kerfoot. Tough day at the office for that kid. Palat is quite the sniper here. He ends up going far side on Campbell. You'll take a look here. I mean, like I said, Jack had a good game, but Jack Campbell, he's still not an elite goaltender. We're not going to pretend he is, but he's good enough to win this series. He's good enough to be a top 10, especially when he's hot. He ends up kick padding out his thing. Like, all you got to do is stay high, stay big. I don't really like what he was doing there, but hey, he still had a fantastic game today. But he had a chance at that puck, regardless of what you think of it being a turnover or a breakaway. Don't forget, goalies don't look at breakaways and deflected shots and go, well, I shouldn't have had it. And if you did that, there's a reason you're not in the NHL. They'll go back, they'll watch the video, they'll learn ways that they could go ahead and take that. Every goalie thinks they can stop every shot all the time, and that's the mentality you got to have as a goalie. So we're not picking on him. He's going to do it himself. Ugly turnover here at the line entering the zone. Look where all the Tampa Bay Lightning players are. They're holding the line. This is perfect. You got 3 guys actually in front of the blue line. You want to go ahead. You want to force turnovers in this area before they end up crossing the blue line. That's how you create panic and confusion. That's how you score shorthanded. The Leafs are no strangers to scoring shorthanded. This is just a cough up at the worst possible time. You shouldn't be looking to bump that out. He read the play all day, every day. This is why I say hold the line, hold the line. I show you videos all the time of a player here who would have backed in. He would have chickened out on it. He doesn't. He knows he's got support from his players. 3 guys are backing in. That's just fine. You got to get aggressive and push the line. He ends up doing that, and that is what ends up causing the goal for Tampa Bay. Toronto's got to be a lot smarter on zone entry with that. So unfortunately, those are 2 boneheaded moves. And if we're listening to John Cooper, who says the Bolts are beating themselves, this game, it looked like the Leafs beat themselves. Cirelli with that turnover just uses nothing but speed and power. Take a look at this. Beautiful play against Gio here, boxing him out, big body. We always talk about Cirelli and the little things he does. That is an absolute veteran play, getting your butt and your back in the play there. So he couldn't outspeed Gio, but he ends up using that size to his advantage, and he basically shovel shots it right past Jack Campbell. 3 goals, second period, and some face-off theory. We always talk about face-off theory here. When you're sitting in the face-off like this, you want to make sure you win the draw back. Now, this is a 50-50 puck. It ends up kicking over to the right. This is why I do not like having players stand behind here. When you see the 1, 2, 3 forwards and you leave that wall open, absolutely terrible. So the Leafs don't do that on this one. They're not known to do that. Other NHL teams do that. This is a beauty play. Smart coaching by Sheldon Keefe. Great work by Austin Matthews, ensuring he has somebody over here at the wall, because they end up bumping that up. So if you've been watching my channel for some time, now you see an example as to why you always want to have somebody on each wall, those 50-50 pucks. You end up dragging that puck across center ice here, and then Matthews is going to break off in front of Vasilevskiy. Brayden Point lets this one go. This is on Point. You got to tie up and stay with your centerman. Point has no other job on this but to stay with Matthews the entire way. He doesn't do a good enough job. You'll see as that line gets crossed, Point is here, and you might be saying, hey, Point did stay with his centerman, but why did Point double team this guy with McDonough? He forgot about Matthews. Puck ends up right here. Matthews is way too good. Take a look at Vasilevskiy's head here. It's up. He's trying to look up and over Point. He can't see it. There is no chance here. This is a beautiful draw by Matthews. This is Matthews outplaying Point all day, every day. This is how you got to score goals against Tampa Bay Lightning. Beautiful goal by Austin Matthews. Best goal scorer in the NHL right now. Jason Spezza doing it with heart here off a little one-touch neutral zone regroup. This is a beautiful zone entry for the Leafs. You end up with a 3-on-2 here. This is one you want to bump out. He ends up bumping it out to Tavares. Then he's going to drive the mid lane. It's over and over and over again. Drive the mid lane. You've heard all these concepts before now. Spezza ends up doing it beautifully. That's what pushes the defenseman back. You need to do it. The defenseman doesn't push back. You're there for the tip in. He may not have actually got the tip there, but he was there to at least try. Veteran play by Spezza. Great goal by Johnny T. Face-off theory again. 19 seconds left on the clock, I believe. Ends up winning that one back. Love the tie-up at the middle there. Morgan Rielly goes back, and they're going to end up fast breaking. I know it's a basketball term, but they're going to end up fast breaking out of their own zone thanks to that face-off win. Rielly does what we call the little flip to freedom. I don't really know what it's called, but it's just a little flip where you put the puck, anywhere between 20 and 100 feet in the air, depending on what's going on in the arena. It ends up crossing 3 or 4 lines. When you go up to make a catch like this, you always open yourself to get blown up. He doesn't, though. He makes a beautiful catch. He's able to get in there before Sergachev hits him, but Sergachev's pretty soft anyway. He's never really going to take a run at you. He's more of a stick check guy. Beautiful little wall bank right here that ends up creating a 2-on-1. Tavares is going to drive hard to the net. This, again, is called a mid-lane drive. Same thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. Drive the mid-lane. Love the fact that he ends up putting on the brakes here. You may as well start creating gap now because you have a 2-on-2, and that gap allows the open ice to widen for John Tavares, and he ends up beating Vasilevskiy with 8.7 seconds left, and you're thinking it's the team of destiny. Two-man advantage goal by Nikita Kucherov. We call this a box +1, so you have 4 players on the outside. Here is your +1, so you always want to have a square around it. You want to have one right in the middle of the box. That is how you play a 5-on-3. You're not concerned about a lot of shots on a 5-on-3. You're only concerned about the shots. The Toronto Maple Leafs are in proper position here. It's not called a triangle anymore. They happen to be in triangle shape. That's the only way you can do 3 players. What you are actually doing is actually a pulley system. So players will go up and they will go down within the triangle formation to take shot lanes away. Goal for the Lightning here as well, or any team on a 5-on-3, is to collapse. So you want this box to collapse. We always talk about playing wide. You don't want to play wide on a 5-on-3. You want to collapse, play tight, and look for those little one-touch passers in order to beat Jack Campbell. Kucherov ends up moving in here, and the beautiful thing about trying to get tight here is because when you go ahead and get 3 Maple Leafs in the way, you can see Jack Campbell can't see the puck. He ends up looking right. He assumes it's going over to Steven Stamkos. Take a look at Stamkos. These are the little things you don't see in the game. Look, he is staring down Vasilevskiy. He's staring down Jack Campbell right now. It's like a fake handoff in football. It's a fake shot. Campbell is looking at Stamkos, assuming Stamkos is the shooter. It hasn't happened, and Kucherov has let this puck go with a horrible screen in front of the net. Normally you want to make a pass here. This is such a huge big brain play by Stamkos and Kucherov. Like, this is 12 out of 10 intelligent, and it ends up beating Jack Campbell and the Leafs, regardless of what you think of the chin strap. Nothing Campbell's going to do on that one. Remember the overtime goal by Point here, the controversial Mr. Chinstrap guy. We had 18 million over the cap. Now we have Chinstrap signatures. Brayden Point here ends up scoring this goal. They don't have the clip available, unfortunately, so I can't show you it, but you all remember, you watched it. Seconds ago, Mitch Marner almost put this game away. The puck ended up in the Leafs zone. The Leafs end up clearing. Austin Matthews here ends up falling due to a sniper. We call that somebody in the stands that throws a rock at the player. Nothing actually touches the player. They just hit the deck like a bag of bricks. Happens from time to time, even to the best of us. But the Tampa Bay Lightning end up keeping that puck in. Like I said, every time you do not score, it ends up somehow in your own zone and trouble's a brewing. Tampa is able to check up here, and now you have trouble because we know Austin Matthews is down in the back there. Beautiful play by Brandon Hagel to get through 2 checkers now. You have a 2-on-1. You can't allow this puck to go through. It's Justin Hall, everybody's favorite. What I despise about Justin Hall is the fact that he loves reaching in a stick and he does these lazy loops. Leafs fans see it all the time. I don't know why Sheldon Keefe defends this guy. I think he's absolute junk. Nobody's ever going to sell me on the fact that Hall is any good at this game. This is just a useless play by Justin Hall. If you're going to play this lazy, you may as well just stay here and plug up the middle. You have a way better chance at doing that. He is just so unaggressive. He is so unattractive when it comes to playing this game in terms of hockey. Not his physical looks. I have no idea how this guy looks. It ends up going into the slot, and then they end up putting it through. Look, Point ends up finding the rebound, and hey, look, here's Justin Hall again on overtime. Everybody go crucify Justin Hall, and you should. Absolutely terrible battle. Look at where his stick is. He's looking for pucks. He's not stick lifting. You're supposed to tie up Point. I don't care what you do in this play. This is not it. Unpopular opinion here for Bolts fans or anybody that's sensitive. You cross-check Brayden Point into the post worst-case scenario. Yes, I'm not saying intent to injure. Well, that's exactly what you told him to do, Ryan. Regardless, he's in front of your net. It's overtime. Wholesale the guy. Lift his stick. Battle. Do anything else but waving a little wet noodle at him. I'm a good defenseman. Get out of here. Get this guy out of the lineup. Unbelievably bad. Like I said, I don't even have an emotional investment in this series. I have an emotional investment in absolutely ridiculous players, and this is an absolute goddamn ridiculous play. Justin Hall is trash. He makes 2 huge mistakes in this one. He is the most infuriating defenseman I have ever watched in my life in the pros. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I'm okay now. And you'll also notice something on this channel, Leafs and Bolts fans. There's only so many ways you're going to score goals, right? The turnover in the offensive zone that goes the other way. Some kind of rush, right? A neutral zone regroup. Some kind of rush. Zone entry off some kind of rush. get the point? Rush, it's one thing. You're going to score off a power play. We end up breaking that a lot. You're going to score off the face-off theory. So you have zone entry, you have rushes, and you have face-offs. Those are the three areas you focus on when it comes to offense and generating chances in the NHL. All the other chances you end up getting, if it's not in one of those three categories, they're just clumped together in the other category. Feeding the puck back to the point, going to the net and tipping it in. Sure, good way to score a goal, but it is a distant four from scoring off of faceoffs, on power plays, and on the rushes. Those are the three ways you primarily score goals. That's why a lot of them are being broken down right now. That's why offensively and defensively, we spend so many times on goals, because there are systems to beat and score both of these things. Thank you for being here, Leafs and Bolts fans. We're going to catch you for Game 7. I was absolutely fired up at the end there. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Throw up a big like for us.